We're starting at 91b, and we're starting from the words Amar Reb Shimon. It's about halfway down. First word on the line is a little above halfway down. The first word on the line is miyad. We said that the angels in the ladder on Yaakov's dream were going up and going down. We said that they went up and they saw Yaakov, they saw the face of Yaakov. They went down and they saw the face of Yaakov. They wanted to cause damage to Yaakov. And immediately, behold, Hashem is standing above him. Amar Reb Shimon ben Lakish says, Al-Malid Mikra Kasav, if not for this verse that had written this, Ef Shel Amri, it would be impossible to say this. Kadam Shemeini Fal B'nai. It was like a man that's waving. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it. That's an early. That's like has 5 volumes for the whole thing, and I think it's an early. It's like a person that's waving a fan over his son, protecting him. So we're saying that Hashem was protecting Yaakov from the angels. The land on which you lay. The Gemara asks, Myra Busay. It says the land on which you lay will be given to you and to your children as an inheritance. It says, look, the land in which he lays is just the size of a bed. It's only like 4 amos. Why? That's a big deal. Your children are going to get a little property like that in Manhattan. No.
So Rabbi say means to make it larger?
What's the greatness? Yeah.
What's the greatness? Okay.
So Amar Rabbi Yitzchak says, Malami, this teaches us, Shekafla Kadosh Baruch Hu l'chol Eretz Yisrael, that Hashem folded up all the land of Israel. Yinicha tachas Yaakov Avinu, and he placed it underneath Yaakov. Shetei neicheli kavish levanam. That makes it easier for his children in the future to conquer it, to take it, because it was already theirs once. He already laid upon it.
How are we supposed to honestly
imagine this?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I'm learning this, I'm thinking about the plate tectonics and how the mountains form by them getting squished and the colliding plates. And here I just see like the whole thing just folding up under.
Yeah, with imagination, but I mean, is that really the way it's meant to be? Or, I mean...
I don't know.
How can you imagine a giant sequoia tree inside this little seed? I don't think so. But that's true, right? This giant sequoia seed
the potential
from this tiny little seed. How do you like that?
The potential.
Yeah.
But here he's saying
the seed is the actual, but it's the source. It's the source of the entire big thing.
It's the actual. So how is that possible? If that's possible, which we know it is, on a regular basis.
I don't have an answer.
No,
because
the tree grows from the ground. The seed just activates the ground. It doesn't grow from the seed.
And he says, Shalcheni, send me.
That's even more weird.
Because the dawn has come, has risen.
This is a different malach, though.
Amalai. Yeah, we just jumped stories. Right. Amalai says to him, this is the wrestling angel, because we're going back to the earlier story that we were talking about before, yesterday. He says, Ganavata, Kuvyustasata, are you a thief, or are you a... Rashi says it means someone that steals people, that's like a pirate, a kidnapper. However,
gambler.
The Rabbi Hananel quoted in Tosfos says a gambler, and anything with the word cube in it is some sort of dice. So,
That's interesting.
Kubi. It's a high road.
Rummy cube or something. Cub cube. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's got to be some sort of gamble. Now, when he says, "Are you a gambler?" The gambler owes, according to what Tosfos explains, owes a lot of people money, and so he tries to avoid being outside during daylight. So he says, "Why you have to leave now? Are you a gambler that you have to avoid all the people that you owe money to, or are you a thief that you have to hide from people? That you're afraid of the dawn." Amalai, he says, Malachani, I'm an angel. Miyam Shenevresi. From the day I was created, like Yizmani Lemashir Adakshav. It wasn't my turn to say to sing to God until today. And right now is my time, and I have to go. I'm not going to miss it now. So, Messiah Leila Rav Chananel Amarav. This is a proof to what Rav Chananel says in the name of Rav. Let's take a look if we do have a Rav Chananel. I don't see the Rav Chananel, but I know where Rav is. So it's up on the top. So Rav Chananel says in the name of Rav, there's three groups of heavenly angels that say a song every day. And the assumption here is that they get to say it once, and that's it. Achas Imeres Kaddish, one of them says Kaddish. V'achas Imeres Kaddish, one of them says Kaddish. Another one says Kaddish. V'achas Imeres Kaddish Hashem Tzavakas, and one says Kaddish Hashem Tzavakas. And that's all they get to say. One says holy, other one says holy, other one says holy is Hashem of the hosts. Meisvei. Gemara has a question, a contradiction on this. It says, Chaviv, in Yisrael, Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Jewish people are beloved in front of Hashem, Yoisr mi Malach Yashar, it's even greater than the angels. Yisrael Im Shir B'chol Shah, because the Jewish people say song at all times. I think that means that they can repeat it, so they can say it again the next day. Malach Yashar say Im Shir L'Pamachas B'Yayim, but the angels can only say it once a day. Va'amri La Pamachas B'Shabbos, and some say that it's only once a week. V'amri La Pamachas B'Chodesh, some say it's only once a month. V'amri La Pamachas B'Shana, some say it's only once a year. V'amri La Pamachas B'Shavua, some say it's once in 7 years. V'amri La Pamachas B'Evel, some say it's once in 50 years. V'amri La Pamachas B'Olam, and some say it's only once in the world. Yisrael, the Jewish people, Maskir Nes Hashem Machar Shtei Teivos. The Jewish people can mention Hashem's name after 2 words. Shnemar Shema Yisrael Hashem. We say Shema Yisrael, that's 2 words, and then we say Hashem. Malach Yashar Sin Maskir Es Hashem El Alachar Gimel Teivos. They have to say it after 3 words. Kediksiv, as it's written, Kaddish, 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 Hashem Tzavakas. Holy, holy, holy. And then they can say Hashem. And the angels above cannot say the song to Hashem until the Jewish people sing the song below. When they sing together, the morning stars, referring to the Jewish people that are compared to the stars, and afterwards, all the angels, Bnei Elikim as the angels, will sing their song. The question here is that we said Kaddish, 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 Hashem Tzavakas is being said after by all the angels. And here it says, Reb Chananel Amarav says each one just says Kaddish. And according to Reb Chananel Amarav, the third one that says Kaddish says Kaddish Hashem Tzavakas. So he only says 1 word, and then he says Hashem. So how is it that this other Bais says that you have to say 3 words? The third group, or the third angel, is saying only 1 word, and he's saying Hashem. The Gemara answers, Ela achas imeres Kaddish. This is the way it's going to be explained. The first one, according in Rabbi Chananel Amarav, he says only Kaddish, that's it. V'achas imeres Kaddish. The second one also says, the second one says Kaddish, Kaddish. He says 2 words, Kaddish. V'achas imeres Kaddish, 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 Hashem Tzavakas. He says all 3. So what we were saying before is just the additional word that he says, but really he has to say all 3 words.
Sounds like no.
Okay.
Yarmulkes when that's Kaddish.
It's there's a Chumash with the English Rashi translation, the Silberman Chumash. It's an old Chumash. And in there, in Vayikra, at the beginning of Vayikra, it says that Hashem called to Moshe. Rashi quotes the Sifra that mentions this, that V'karazel Zev Yamar, that the angels called to one another, and they say Kaddish, Kaddish, Kaddish Hashem Tzavakis. So to Hashem calls to Moshe before he speaks to him, he says Moshe, Moshe. And so the way he translates that is Karazel Zeviyamar, the way the Sifra is learning is they call to one another and they say Kaddish, Kaddish, Holy One, Holy One. And then the other one says Kaddish Hashem Tzavakis. So the name of the angel is Kaddish, Kaddish. Just like Moshe, Moshe. That's the way he's learning that Sifra, which is like in direct contradiction to everything here. But whatever, there's different ways of explaining everything. The Gemara now asks, Ika Baruch, what about Baruch Kvod Hashem Mem Kaimai? The angels say that too. And that's Baruch Kvod. And then it's Hashem. There's only two words here, just like the Jewish people. So the Gemara answers, we're on top of page 92, Eifanim Hudamrila. That's the Eifanim. That's a different sort of angel. Eifanim is like wheels. It says that they're rolling over in excitement from the excitement of what they've witnessed, the greatness of Hashem or the angels that are above them. So Rashi learns over here that Eifanim are higher, and therefore they're able to say it after two. Other commentaries say, I saw the Ritva says that from the verses it appears that the Eifanim are lower. Here we're talking about the Srafim. The Srafim are different angels, and they say Kaddish, Kaddish, Kaddish. The Eifanim are lower than the Srafim, and they say Baruch Kvod. How could that be? So the Ritva says they're so low that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they do. So and then, but what about the Jewish people? You made a big deal about us, that we say after two words. He says no, the Jewish people are considered higher. And so therefore it's 2 versus 3, but the Eifanim don't matter because they're lower down. That's how he learns it. The Bayasema is another interpretation. If you want, you could say, given this Yav Rishusis Yav, once there's permission granted for them to praise Hashem and to say Hashem's name, so they've already said 3 words, then after that, Baruch Kvod is not a problem. Baruch Kvod Hashem is not a problem. Okay. This is not relevant, but I was at a lecture, and this very famous professor of the Holocaust studies. I don't know if he's still around. A very famous person, an older man, and anyway, very not religious. And he was talking about. I don't know why he was saying like all these anti-religious things. It was an Israeli guy. All these anti-religious things. The Megillah, the story of Purim never happened, and the Torah, anyway. So, and this crowd was all not religious either. I was, myself and a friend were the only religious people there. So he says, the Talmud doesn't discuss angels at all. It's the Christians that they discuss the angels. And he mentioned one thing in the Talmud that wasn't even connected to angels. But anyway, here we have, besides for Chagiga, there's loads of discussions here.
So you didn't go over to him afterwards?
Afterwards, I went over to him. He said that the Torah can't be that old, simply because they didn't have the language. The script of the Torah is newer. So I went over to him afterwards. He says, that's not correct, because the Gemara says that we changed the script. So he said, yeah, but the Talmud is much later. So I said, yeah, but you don't have to be more religious than the Talmud. If the Talmud says that we changed the script, so I can accept that as well. So he said, yeah, okay, maybe there's other reasons, or whatever. Anyway, you can go on and on with these guys.
You know, I've always heard the comment, he's so religious, or he's ultra religious. I never heard the comment you made, he's what did you call it?
I said you don't have to be more religious than the Talmud.
No, at the beginning, the way you described him, he's very more unreligious or something like that. You said, I mean, it's like, if you're not religious, you're not religious. It's not like more not religious. You're just not religious. So
okay, so here it says Vayashar al Malach.
Yet.
It's Lubavitch comment. Vayasher al Malach v'Yushal Bacha v'Yischanalei. This is a pasuk in Hosea, and he's saying like the history of the Jews, like you did this wrong, you did that, and he says that he wrestled with this angel. V'Yasher could mean he ruled over the angel, and he won. Yuchal is he won. He cried and he pleaded with him. Now, there's all these pronouns in there that don't tell us who's doing what. It's Einy minas sar lemi, in the word by Yashar. Doesn't tell me who was victorious over the other one. But Kishuaimer, when we go back to the Chumash, and over there we look, it says Kisarisa im Menachem, because you wrestled with God, or with an angel. Havayomer Yaakov nasa sar lamalach. Then we go back to Hosea and we can read it, and it says Vayashar el malach Vayuchal, and Yaakov was victorious, and he became like a minister over the angel. Next part of the verse says Bacha v'Yischanalei. He cried and he pleaded with him. Eini yodea mi bacha lami. From the verse in Hosea, it doesn't tell us who cried to who. Kishuaimer Vayomer Shalcheni, when he says send me, let me go. So Haviyomer Malach Bacha Yaakov. It says the angel cried to Yaakov. Now we go further in the pasuk in Chumash, Kisarisa im Menachem v'Menachem, because you wrestled with God and with man. Amar Rabba. Rabba is Rabbi Bar Nachmani. He's down here.
He's an Amora.
He's an Amora in Babylonia. He says, Remez Ramaz Sha'asidim Shnei Saram Latzis Mimeno. He alludes to him. He hints to him that there's going to be two great people that are going to come out. It's not just great people, great offices that are going to come out. Rosh Goyla Shebebavel, V'nasi Sheberetz Yisrael. The Exilarch, the Rosh Goyla, the head of the community in Babylonia, and also the prince in the land of Israel. On this chart, the princes are the family of starting from Hillel up here, all the way down. These are the princes, the Davidic line. That's the princes, and the Rosh Goyla, that we don't have specifically there. They weren't necessarily the sages of the Talmud. They could have been other people, but they were the head of the community.
They were also from David.
They were also from David, correct. So, and Mikan, Ramaz leGalus. He also alludes to the Galus, that there's going to be the Rosh Goyla. In other words, the fact that he says you wrestled with God and man, this is referring to that in other words, you were victorious over God and the angels and man. This means that the leaders of Israel are called Elikim, because Elikim is a judge. Yeah, that's another word for a judge. And in Israel they have smicha, and in Eretz Yisrael they're called Anash. And in Bavel they're called Anashim. They're called men, the leaders of. Ubegefen shleisha surigim, and on the vine there's 3 branches. This is the dream of the butler, and he's telling Yosef. And now we're going to have what messages Yosef was getting from this dream. Amar Reb Chia bar Abba Amar Rav. Reb Chia bar Abba says in the name of Rav. Reb Chia bar Abba we've had before as a great student of Rabbi Yochanan, and I'm assuming that originally he was in Babylonia before he came to Rabbi Yochanan. So now he's saying in the name of Rav. Elu Gimel Sarei Geim Hayotzim Yisrael. These are the 3 great leaders that come from Israel, the Jewish people, B'chol Dar V'Dar, in every generation. Pa'amim sheshnayim kan ve'echad ba'aretz Yisrael, pa'amim sheshnayim b'Eretz Yisrael ve'echad kan. Sometimes, you see, if there's 3, it's not going to be even. So sometimes 2 are in Israel and 1 is in Bavel. Sometimes 2 are in Bavel and 1 is in Israel. The leaders, the great people. Over here it's referring to, Rashi says, wealthy people that are close to the government. Yovu Rabbanan Einayu, the sages put their eyes on B'Rabbana Ukva v'Rabbana Nechemya b'nei Brati the Rav. They put their eyes on Ukva and Nechemya, Rabbi Ukva and Rabbi Nechemya, who are the sons of the daughter of Rav. Rav's grandsons. But they must have been close to the government. I don't know anything else about them. And familiar with the son-in-law of Rav. But these must have been great people and influential. Rava Amar, Rava says that these three branches that are coming off the vine, these are three angels of the nations that speak merit for the Jewish people in every generation. Okay. Tanya, start in a brisa. Rabbi Eliezer Omer. When we say Rabbi Eliezer, we're referring to Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes, who's Rabbi Eliezer the Great. He's a student of Rabbi Yeshua ben Zakkai. We're going to have Rabbi Yeshua, who's on the Tanaim chart, and then we're going to have Rabbi Elazar Midai, who we don't have very often. Rabbi Elazar Midai, he's down over there, a small one. It's not very common. He's once mentioned in Pirkei Avos. It says like this: Rabbi Elazar Megefen Zeha'ilam. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes says the world is the vine. Shleisha Srigim, the three branches, Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, the patriarchs. V'hike Parachas, also Nitza. And it's like flowering and giving off a bud. Eloi Mais, these are the mothers. Kivshilu Ashkleisa Navim, that the cluster is ripening with grapes. Elo Ashvatim, these are the tribes. The imagery is perfect. Amalei Rabbi Yeshua says, "V'chimarim leila adam mashahaya." Are they showing him a vision of things that happened before? Does Yosef needs to know this? V'alein marim leila adam masha'asad liyas. They were showing him things of the future. Elagefen zeh. In other words, he's in Egypt. They didn't have the Torah yet. The vine is the Torah. They're telling Yosef, the butler's dream is it's a message to Yosef. Shleisha Srigim, the three branches, Eila, Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam. These are the siblings of the leaders, Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam. Vika Parachas al Sanitza, and it's flowering and giving off a bud. Eila Sanhedrin. This is all of the high court. Their clusters are ripening with grapes. These are the tzaddikim in every generation. Amar Rabbi Gamliel says, Adayin an tzrichel l'maydai. Nice interpretations, but we still need the interpretation of the Maydai, which is Rabbi Elazar Midai. That's what he's called, is by his last name, Midai. The mukam lakula b'chad makim, that he establishes this verse all in one place. Rabbi Elazar Midai Yomer. Rabbi Elazar Midai says, Gefen ze Yerushalayim, the vine is Jerusalem. Shleisha Srigim ze Mikdash Melech b'Kohen Gadol. The three branches is the Beis HaMikdash, the king, and the Kohen Gadol. Vika Parachas al Sanitza, and it's like a flower that's giving off the bud. Elo Pirchei Kahuna. Pirchei Kahuna. The young Kohanim have the word Parach, which means a flower. If Shiloh, I'm sorry?
I was just saying, there's so many sikhas where the Rabbi talks about things that come in three.
Right.
Interesting to see this here.
When you learn the sikhas, you see it like where it's coming from. The more you know, the more significant things. So if Shiloh Ashkleisa Navim Elo Nesachim. How did they translate Nesachim? Simply the libations. Okay, good. The clusters are ripening with grapes. These are the libations. That's the oddest part in this. Like, that's like it's like getting like more grandiose, and then the libations. It's like a small. You think like the end there's going to be like some climax in it. But the libations was just in addition to the sacrifices. No, I don't know. It's interesting. Rabbi Shua ben Levi.
But isn't that the L'chaim's?
Ah, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Mukim la b'matanis. He says that the verse is talking about the gifts. Dam Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, Rabbi Shua ben Levi is later than everyone. He's down here. But we've been told already that he's considered great in Agarata. So this is his field. Rabbi Shua ben Levi. So, Dam Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, Gefen zu Torah. The vine is the Torah. Shleisha Srigim, the three branches. Ze Be'er, this is the well. Amud Anan, the cloud. Uman, and the manna. V'iki Parachas also Nitza. It's a flower that's giving off a bud. Elo Abikurim. These are the first fruits. If Shilu Ashkalisa Anavim Elo Nesachim. The cluster ripens with grapes. These are the libations. Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba Amar. Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba, he was a student of Yeshua, and we had a Rabbi Yirmiyah before, but then we had a Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba as well. This is a later Rabbi Yirmiyah. There was one up here. It's not on the chart, but Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba says, Gefen Eily Yisrael. The Jewish people are the vine. The pasuk says a vine was made to travel out of Egypt. That's the Jewish people. Shleisha Srigim, the three branches. Elu Shleisha Regalim. She Yisrael Olam Ben B'chol Shana V'Shana. The three holidays, three festivals that the Jewish people go up to Jerusalem every year. V'ika Parachas Al Sanitza, and it's flowering, giving out its bud. The time for the Jewish people to be fruitful and multiply has come, which means that they're meant to go out of Egypt. That the Jewish people were fruitful and multiply. I'm sorry, they're still in Egypt. Also Nitza is they're giving off their bud. Here's the time that they're meant to be leaving Egypt.
Each one of these, they're giving their opinion as to what it is, or
Yeah.
they're basing it on what? They just, this is what their interpretation is?
Yeah, I tried at the beginning. You see, it's easier with the earlier sages to know their statements, because their statements are few and they're very profound. So Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Midai, I tried to associate with what they say in Pirkei Avos, and I didn't. It wasn't clear. Now it gets a little more complicated. Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba, we have so many statements from him, and okay. V'cheinu Omer, it also says a pasuk in Yeshaya. Vayez nitzcham al begadai, their eternity was like splashed on my clothes. V'chol malbushay agalti. This is in the section of why is your clothing red? Chametz begadim mi batzra. Right? Mizaba mi batzra chametz begadim. Why? And he says why. It starts off sounding like it's red with wine, and he said no, it's red from the blood or something. Okay. Vayez nitzcham al begadai. So what we're doing here is we're saying the word nitza, which is a flower or a bud, is being read with a ches instead of a hey, because a hey and a ches are interchangeable. It's like Happy Hanukkah. So the ches is becomes netzach, is the eternity, which is showing that the Jewish people are going out of Egypt. If Shilu Ashkaleseh Anavim, the clusters are ripening with the grapes. Higiyas Manam Shel Mitzrayim Lishtes Keisat Terela. It's time for Egypt to drink their cup of retribution, of punishment. Vainadam Rava, this is what Rava says. Shleisha Keisas Hamuras B'Mitzrayim. The three cups that are in Mitzrayim, that are in this dream, Lama, what are they for? Echad sheshasa b'mei Moshe. One is the punishment that the Egyptians had in Moshe's days. V'echad sheshasa b'mei Parei Nechei. One is that the Egyptians drank in the days of Parei Nechei when Nebuchadnezzar came in after the first temple was destroyed and the Jewish people left the land of Israel. Those that were left, they went down to Egypt, and Nebuchadnezzar comes and gets them over there. And because there was a change in kings, there was a weak point in Egypt, and Nebuchadnezzar conquers Egypt. And one that they're going to drink in the future with all the other nations. The time of Mashiach.
The Grapes of Wrath. You know the book? It's a famous book. Maybe you got that from there. Grapes of Wrath. The cup of Grapes of Wrath.
Interesting.
It says here, call Hagoyim. Instead of...
I should have translated it the way my Gemara says. Together with all the idolaters.
Oh.
That's the way. That's what you have. Yeah, yours is more politically correct. His says with all the other nations. Okay. We self edited Gemara. So. Amalei Rab Abba. Idolaters. The art scroll is more
Right wing.
Amalei Rab Abba le Rab Yirmiyah bar Abba. Rab Abba says to Rab Yirmiyah bar Abba. Before we mentioned Reb Yitzchak, and I see Reb Yitzchak is here. Now it's Abba. Now it's Reb Abba is saying to Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba.
Is that his son?
Here's a Reb Abba down here, next to Reb Avo of Kasaria. Reb Abba is down here, saying to Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba. I didn't know. I thought Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba is older. That's what I understood. He's a critic. Social critic, right? That's how he describes. So, Amalei Rab Abba Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba ki darsh lu Rav lahani kroi b'agadata. He tells Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba that when Rav taught these verses in Agadata, kavaseich darsh lahu, he learned it the way you did. So that's a support for Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba. I'm Reb Shimon ben Lakish. This is my favorite Gemara for today. You're going to choose a different one soon, but this is a spectacular little piece. I'm Reb Shimon ben Lakish. Umazu. This nation, Kigefin Nimshala, is compared to the vine. Zmayra Shaba, the branches, Eily Balabatim. These are the Balabatim. The people that